Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guide, episode number 6 of the beginner series, and in this video we are going to implement some UI for our pickups that we had in the last video. So currently you can see after like 10 seconds of the game starting, I do get a pickup that allows me to have increased range. So I don't have it currently, but I should if yeah, you can see that is the pickup that I need, and using this I can shoot the enemy from quite far away, which is really awesome. Now this pickup lasts for a very small amount of time. It doesn't not like last for forever. So the thing that I want to do is I want to make it so that we can kind of the player can see when that he has got the pickup, because we won't be having this what's this now here, range. So we won't be having this print string in the actual game, so we need some way of the player knowing that he is actually getting the power up. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under my UI, and then I'm going to open up my main game UI, and in here I'm going to add in a let's call it let me add in a text here. Okay, it's going to be called increased range. Okay, and we are going to choose size to content. Then we are going to go under here and we are going to increase the size to something like let's say 30. Then I'm going to anchor it to here, and I'm going to set its I'm going to make it like 0.5 on the X and then 1 on the Y for the alignment, so it's up, and then I'm going to move it a bit more up on the Y by setting it to -50. Yeah, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a progress bar here. Now I'm going to make the progress bar exactly here. I'm going to set its values to be similar as well, but instead of having -50, I'm going to put it at -70. And -70 on the Y and 0 on the X. -70 is not like really what I want. -120, yeah, that looks awesome, but I'm going to -140 and -140, and then I'm going to go ahead and increase its Y a bit to something like 50 or 60, I guess, and then I'm going to increase its X quite a bit too. Yeah, I'm going to put the X at 600 and the Y at 80, and then I'm going to make it, okay, not 80, just 70, and then I'm going to put its location -120. So this basically we will basically show the amount of time that is left until we kind of get our increased range, and I'm going to go under this increased range and I'm going to set its color to be red. However, I'm going to basically like disable this if I can actually do that. So the idea is that we will have these two not visible in the beginning, but as soon as we kind of get a so it won't be visible in the beginning, but as soon as we get the pickup, it will become visible. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a couple of a little bit of, let's say, style to it. I'm going to add this thing here, and then I'm going to go under here, and you can try to choose these options. I'm going to do this, and you can go under shadow offset, and you can go under shadow color, and you can basically choose like red for the color of the shadow if you want to, some kind of this kind of red. Alright, and you can obviously increase the alpha as well. So you can do that, and you can change its range on the X and the Y, and then you can alright, this is a bit of a weird thing that's happening. Okay, maybe we don't want the shadow after all. So yeah, I'm not going to add the shadow here, and I think I'm fine with just the outline and this. So basically we have got this now, and we want so that we can we can actually see that this is decreasing. What I'm actually going to do though is I'm going to go under my style, and in here in the fill in the background image, I'm going to go under the tint, and I'm going to make it kind of, you can just choose this color dropper and choose this, but a little darker, I guess. Okay, actually a little darker, I meant. Alright, that's better. Yeah, so we can basically have that. By the way, I'm also going to change the style of the health bar too, so that it looks a bit better. I'm going to select the health bar, just go under here, under the tint, and then you can just choose the actual color of this, and then you can go ahead and okay, you can go ahead and try to, alright, what's happening? Okay, this is a bit of a weird thing. I'm trying to do it with the health bar. Okay, I'm trying to decrease the tint down a bit so that it looks like this, and for that, yeah, it looks now pretty awesome. So now what I want to do is we want to make it so that this actually moves with the time, and it looks correct, so with the actual amount of time that we have got left. And so yeah, now how are we going to actually do that? Alright, so the way that we are going to do this is that let me just go under here. So we have got this sequence, and I'm going to delete this, and for now let me just go ahead and say shooting and nothing else. But currently let me just what I want to change is that we have got this delta seconds here. Now this basically tells us the amount of seconds that pass each frame. So we are going to add a variable here which is going to be called seconds, like seconds passed. Okay, I'm going to call it range timer. Alright, that would be kind of right. So this is going to be a range timer, and what it's going to be is that basically it's going to start off at 0 and it's going to increase to whatever we have got value. So I'm going to go ahead and say range time and a range timer as well. Kind of not so good naming, but we have to do it, I guess. Alright, I'm going to go under here, and where we are actually doing the range, increasing range, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we push the range time in here so that we can put this to like 5. Alright, so in the decrease range we aren't doing anything like in the decrease range. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go under the range timer, and I'm going to set to 0. Alright, actually we don't need to do that, I guess. So let me just go under the event graph, and what I'm going to do is we have got this, and by the way, let me just add the sequence node back. I think we might need it actually. So now in here what we are going to do is we are going to so we have got this like then 1, and in this node we are going to actually go ahead and say so let me just basically first of all print string our, and we are going to print our range timer, yeah, that range timer, get that and plug it in here, and it should convert automatically. And now what we need to do is we need to set our range timer to a different value true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say so I'm going to set our range timer. I'm going to go ahead and say set range timer, and I'm going to get my range timer okay, get my range timer, and I'm going to add the delta seconds to it, and then I'm going to set that to the actual range timer. Now let's try that out. And what you should see is that it starts on from increasing from 0, and it goes on increasing to you know, whatever value it can increase to. But if we change this from plus to minus, then what should happen is that we can use our range timer, and it should basically keep on decreasing the timer. Okay, and it's currently decreasing the timer. So what we are actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set my range timer to 5, so that it kind of counts down from 5. Let me go ahead and see 5, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it to an int. So I'm going to say truncate, which basically converts the float to an int without actually rounding it, and then I'm going to plug this in. So you can see it says 5 4 or okay, that's a bit weird. What's happening? Alright, range timer. Alright, that's a bit weird. We want range timer minus delta seconds. We did it the wrong way. Alright, that's better. Now this should work. 3 2 1, and that works. And even if you don't do this and plug this in like directly, then it still works the way it's supposed to. And you can see it keeps going down, and it should keep going down until it reaches 0. And we are also going to make sure that it doesn't go below 0. So we are going to go ahead and say you know, what's that function that you use? Okay, it's we are going to basically you know, make sure that our range timer is stays within the range of 0 to whatever our range time actual is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say my range timer, and I'm going to say alright, you are supposed to use that function called clamp. Yeah, clamp. So I'm going to set this to be clamped. Actually I'm going to move this forward and then set this to be clamp clamp float, and then I'm going to clamp this float between and let me move this down, these two nodes. Alright, let me just say this is the value, and for the minimum 0, and for the maximum we are going to plug whatever our range time is. And in this, now we are going to go ahead and hit play, and you can see that it should not decrease below 0, and it should kind of stop when it reaches 0. and you can see that work. So now it's up to implement that, us to implement that into the actual UI system. But we'll actually get that part done in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to share this video with other people who want to learn Unreal Engine, and make sure to like and subscribe, and bye.